はい、では10分を過ぎておりますので、ラップアップセッションを開始さ
So
せてい
now
た
we
だき
would
た
like
い
to
と思い
start
ます。
the wrap-up session.
まず、JICA シニアアドバイザーの
So
岩崎
we are
誠二がブ
calling
ルース
on
テージと
our
ブルーステージ
senior
でのす
advisor,
べてのセッションを通じて得られた
Eiji
結果について
Iwasaki.
総括いたし
He
ます。
is going to be
それでは
summarizing
岩
the
崎様、
blue
よろ
stage
しくお
and
願
green
いいたし
stage,
ます
what has been
はい、
discussed.
ただいまご紹介に預かりました岩崎です。
So this is Iwasaki. Thank you for your introduction and thank you so
本
much
当に
for staying with us for so
多
long.
くの関係者からですね、ご
And
参加いただきまして、
many of
本当に
people are here today, and now we were able to hear many things
担当
from
者から
the
私の
presenters.
方にメモが来てますの
And
で、
from
そ
each of
れ
the
を読ん
session,
でいただき
the
つつ、
personnel in
現在の
charge
取りま
has
とめ
been
をやっていただきたい
sending
と
me
思いま
notes.
す。
Therefore, I would like to
で
summarize
は
the
ですね、
whole
やらせていただ
day.
きます。
Let me take a seat.
本日はですね、4つのセクシ
So
ョンと
today we had 4
12の企業
sections and
参加いただい
12
てですね、
companies participating.
ビジネスピッチというのがご
The
ざいま
business
した。
pitch by the private
ま
companies
ず
were done
最初
too.
のセッショ
So
ン
for
は
the
です
first
ね、少し
session,
の
it
気候
was
変動
about
対策と
actions
次
towards
なるものづ
circular
くりと
economy and
いうよう
carbon
な内容だっ
neutrality
たかと
and
思
to
いま
pursue
す。
synergies.
まずこの気候変動セッションです
And
けれども、
regarding this
環
session,
境省の
the
菅氏
Ministry
ご出
of
席をいただきま
Environment,
し
Mr.
て、
Suga,
グ
has
ロー
been
バル環境
here
基金の
to
会議によりですね、
participate,
自治体、
talking
企
with
業、
us
関係
about
機関ともに
the
多くのご
related
参加のほか、積極
stakeholders
的な
and the
重要をご
government.
提示いただき
He
まし
has
た。
been
また、脱炭
mentioning
素
on
や
the
気候変対策
importance
の
of
幅広い経験、技
collaboration.
術を有している
And
日本の都市と
Japanese
海外の都
cities
市、地域
and
との
the
間での
overseas
自治体、
cities
企業、
are
経
now
済機関
working
等との連携
together
した
city to
複数な企業
city
連携により
involving
ご説
governments
明をい
and
ただいた
private
ところです
sectors and public sectors were also
次
explained.
に中央大学の
And
手
next,
ばかり先生
Chuo
にご登壇をい
University,
ただきました。
Dr. Tebakari has been
宮崎
appearing.
大
He has
学
been
で
discussing
コ
about
ラボレンジですね、
Bangkok as
気
a
候変
case
動リスク
study
と水
and
分野の
talking
事業
about
策を
climate
説明、
change crisis
バン
and
コクはそ
the
の
crisis for the
沿
water
岸低
related.
冷域
The
及
Bangkok
び
is
海岸
located
によ
in a
る
very
内水
low
氾濫などの水害リ
elevated
スク、
area,
これが
therefore
高く、
prone
こ
to
のような気
water
候リスクの
disaster
直
risks.
接間接的な影
And
響をご説
directly and
明いただきまして、
indirectly,
大きな
Professor
地方
has
に要する
been
対策、
explaining
例え
about
ば
what
排
risks
水路
are
の建
there,
設や
for instance,
気
creating
候で大きな予算
waterways
を必要としな
or
い対
else
策の例を具体的
maybe
に紹介をい
not
ただきまし
needing
た。
a big budget.
で
But
2011
countering
年
the
に
measures
チャオプ
for
ラ
the
ヤ川の大き
waters,
な
he has
水害
been
があったわけ
mentioning
です
that
けれど
too.
も、そ
So
の後
there
に
was a
JICA
very
の知
big
見に撮影
disaster,
された
water
非
related
常に精緻な地
disaster
形図、
for Chao Phraya
こ
River.
の大元にです
Professor
ね、
has been
解
sharing
析を
was
行っ
with
て
us
成
a
果をご
very
紹介いただ
detailed
きました。
map, and he has been
海上度の古
explaining
いデー
about
タ
what
では
measures
気候
were
変動
they
の影響
put
評価
on.
が適
And
切
then
に行われないこと
environmental
をご指摘い
analysis
ただきました。
was not well done
気候変動シ
in
ミュレーション、
some flat
あるいは予
areas.
測のシミュレー
Therefore,
ション
climate
が重要ですけ
simulation
れど
is
も、これに
important,
過度に依存
but
するこ
we
との
should
危
not
険
be
性、
overly
やはり
reliant
デー
on
タの
that.
収集、ア
And
イカーブ
data
の重要
collection,
性をご強
ICURB
調いただきました。
importance has
で
been
次に
emphasized.
バンコク
And
の
next from
区長
Bangkok,
のですね、大気汚染防止部のソムスク部長
Ms.
にご登壇をいただき
Sumsku
まして、
Nopun,
JICA の技術プ
subdivision
ロ
of
ジェクトを
Bangkok
通じた
Metropolitan
状況や知見
Administrative
を踏まえた
Climate Change Strategy has
バンコク
spoke.
都知事の強いリ
And
ーダーシップの下で
under
です
the
ね、
strong leadership
さら
of
に
the
横浜
governor
市と
of
の連携のもと
Bangkok
進んでい
and
る
along
気
with the
候変対策
cooperation of
取り組み
Yokohama
についてご
City,
説明をい
she
ただ
has
きまし
been
た。
explaining
合
about the
わせ
climate
て
change countermeasures.
OECC の加
And
藤たるですね、
OECC, Mr.
バン
Kato,
コク首都
he has
圏
been
庁の気
mentioning
候変動マ
about
スタープランの
the
実施促進と
master
題しまし
plan
て、民間
incorporation
資金
of
の動員、
Bangkok
これを念
Metropolitan
頭に置いた
Administration.
バンカブル
is
な案
So
件の実現性
bankable
に向けた
project
ファイナンシャルオプ
being
ションの検
found
討状況をご紹介をいただい
was
たとこ
what
ろ
he
で
has
す。
been sharing with us
そし
about the
て、横
situation.
浜市の中
And
村課
from
長で
Yokohama
すけれども、
City, this was Mr.
公
Nakamura.
民連携によるですね、国
By
際
the
金融協
coordination
力を
with
通じ
public
た
and
海
private
外都市の解決
overseas
立地解
city
決支援の取り組みとして、
cooperation,
市内の脱炭素の
and
施
he has
策、
been
実
also
践事例
mentioning
を
about
活
the
用して国際協力、
decarbonization in
国
Yokohama,
際会議、
and based
アジア
on
スパ
that,
シフィック
having
会
an
合で
overseas
のコスパネットワー
cooperations,
キング
and
を
then
ご紹介
networking
をいた
with
だき
the
ました。
Asian-related
次
conferences.
に重要な点といたしま
The
して4
important
点挙げ
point
ておられて、
he
市民の
has been
行動変
mentioning
容、
for
事業者の
changing
行
people's
動変容、
behavior
脱
and
炭素のイノベ
behavior
ーション、
and idea changes to the administration. Administration also should be taking a proactive message. And 2030, there's an aim, but for 2050, the carbon neutrality should be achieved. And for good practices, as the Ministry of Environment has been working for the waste derived energy power businesses was also shared, and the local people and the local researchers should be making a tagging team in order to go forward was mentioned. And the local government and the municipalities should be aligned together. And Ministry of Environment is speaking on those relationships was very good. And Dr. Tepakari, he has been mentioning about the cooperation among cities which are having similar situation. He said that was crucial. So the networking within intra-cities and then mapping the specifics of the cities will be effective is what Doctor said. And from the Bangkok city, there was for energy saving because budget is scarce, leasing is utilized for the air conditioner updating, and IFC, along with them, has been working for updating their HVACs within officials' offices. And there should be a personnel who can think in other people's eyes is crucial, is what she said. Yokohama City is a Mirai. So there's Minato Mirai area designated to be working within the advanced initiative. Therefore, 2030 is going to be the net zero for Yokohama City, which was earlier than the national target. Specifically, it is about bringing in renewable energies within the area, and then the heating systems bringing in renewable energies for heatings was also introduced. For Bangkok and Yokohama City, a city-to-city cooperation was taken up as one case, but then in order to expand our city-to-city development, university, local municipalities, and private companies, all the co-workings are needed. That was our acknowledgement. The remainder three presentations has been handling a wide meaning about solid waste management. So the plastics, a clean stage, I think it was in the clean stage, that was about handling the plastics. And for the plastics treaty, and right now it has not come to an agreement yet. However, these days, thinking about the latest situation of the discussions, many stakeholders have been introducing this treaty today. So first of all, UNEP. So the life cycle approach from the UNEP, Mr. Felipe Orsoleta has been mentioning about the worldwide plastic usage should be ended. And next, the ADB, Ms. Watanabe mentioned about the International Plastic Treaty, and in order to compensate on that, the innovative mechanism has been introduced by her, and the technical assistance and the researching from the ADB, and then about the process and what has been learned was shared by her, and also how to motivate the funding was what she has been talking about. And next, from Kyushu University, Dr. Isobe has been talking. Currently, this doctor is in Kyushu University, but then launching and research at Thailand. Dr. Isobe, starting 2020, going into the ASEAN area and has been researching the marine plastics, and he has made some local studies there. So the open type dumping site, and how the plastics will be starting from there and then go discharged into the marine waters, or else finding some microplastics in the skeleton of the coral reefs has been mentioned. And from Mr. Tsukiji from JICA, he's an expert in Thailand, and he has been mentioning about the plan to set up the marine center from JICA. And after that, SDGs 12, sustainable consume and development for plastics at Tonga. There was introductions for the plastics regarding SDGs 12 and what has been happening in Tonga. And next, this session had a lot of topics. Further going on from Indonesia, at Bataan, province for handling waste, Aiji's, Mr. Hayashi, Ms. Hayashi has been mentioning her practices. Well, what Aegis has been working on was about plastics waste selection and collection to be more efficient. So using digital tools, implementation of digital tools was mentioned. So in real time, the data are to be shared with the stakeholders, and then she has been mentioning about the importance about being transparent about the transaction.
In this session, a lot of good practices were shared. For example, in Dhaka, Bangladesh, over 20 years of cooperation brought improvement to 85% collection rate from 44%. In Pacific Ocean, PRISM Wide Range Waste Cooperation Project brought about the drinking water deposit system with the participation of private sector. So there's been progress on that front. In Sri Lanka, recyclers eco-spin dolls case was shared. More than 600 suppliers and disposal sites and other means brought pellets, and from the pellets, various products are made, such as the polyester fibers and so forth, to contribute to the circular economy. The conclusion of this session was that the upstream action and also recycling alone will not solve the plastic issue. From the production stage, we really have to design the process so that we can contribute to circular economy. So upstream efforts is essential. The third session is about the circular economy and how the industry, government, academia cooperate. So in the blue stage, from 1:30, the session started. Here, towards the circular economy, we had activities mainly in Asia. The keynote speech was delivered by the MOEJ. So the Japanese policies related to circular economy was shared, and EDA, JETRO, also Mr. Kojima shared the current situation, issues of efforts towards the circular economy in Asia, and also panel discussion was participated by the person from Thai, Vietnam, and the Philippines, and also a representative of the private sector as well as Mr. Kojima participated, during which ASEAN countries and private sectors efforts were shared, and how the circular economy is materializing through those efforts were highlighted. In Thailand, the plastic related legal framework is being developed. In Vietnam, they developed a national plan. And in the Philippines, the EPR Act and the system is developed through the private sector initiatives, and also private sectors involved in the efforts for circular economy designing. Mr. Kojima talked about the EPR system development in Asia, how it is gradually taking off. However, the penetration across the region, across the country, is yet to come. Also, the Japanese successful cases as well as failures should be taken advantage by the Asian countries. Challenges and issues were shared as well. For example, the MB Pro's Mr. Kitazume, he talked about the business activities based on the circulation. In order to deploy that in ASEAN countries, we need to have a mechanism to circulate the resources and materials. However, that needs to be clarified through the collaboration between the government and private sector. In order to mobilize the circular economy, we need a funding mechanism, and also we need a participation and cooperation from the citizens. Dr. Sujitora, from the perspective of the research, she talked about how the study of the system around the circular economy is developing, and also the role that needs to be fulfilled by the researcher is quite significant. Towards circular economy, the government, academia, the businesses are making their own efforts. But in order to facilitate the resource circulation to lead to the sustainable growth of the economy, the recycling needs to take place, and also basic research circulation data need to be shared through established mechanisms. The citizens' interest is also very important in terms of involving many actors in this effort. Furthermore, the midterm challenges will include the globally changing policy environment, and also the economy of scale need to be leveraged upon by deploying wide area activities, and that was also pointed out by Mr. Kojima. The final session was efforts for the efforts for waste management in Africa towards JICA 9, in which the JICA 9 to be held this summer was outlined, and Africa's waste management status was shared, and also challenges were shared, and Sudan and South Sudan efforts, the concrete projects were shared. UN Habitat, Mr. Ms. Jinno, beg your pardon, gave us the outline of the ACCP, also Mombasa and Lagos waste management state were shared. In sub-Saharan region, waste management is a very difficult task. To be very specific, more than 80% waste are inadequately managed. That is a major challenge faced by the region. One of the reasons is that the regional administration, local administration's capacity is limited, and also there's a shortage of funding as well. And from the EIB, we are joined by Ms. Joyce Kuru. She talked about EIB's Green Ocean initiatives. EIB is a bank. So how marine plastic pollution can be tackled by the bankable project was explored. So how the project can be formed, that process was explained in detail. One of the things that was emphasized was that when it comes to the waste issue, rather than having a very sort of narrow view, we really need to look at the holistic, the value chain. The finance is quite important. So we need to have a feasible project in terms of finance, in terms of sustainability of the project, and in terms of the possibility of resolving the waste issues. In the latter half, we heard about the projects in Sudan and South Sudan. Yachio Engineering, Mr. Saito gave us information about the projects implemented in those two countries, which is under very unstable conditions. In both countries, situations are very dire, but there's a lot of achievements. In South Sudan, one of the characteristics was that the fee collection team system was established with the understanding of the resident community members. The fee collection was implemented. So this links back to the bankable project mentioned by the EIB. So I think this forms the basis for a viable waste management system. So the fee collection system actually was able to achieve the break-even, and the collection rate of the waste has improved from 13% to 34% accordingly. And in Sudan, under the very difficult situations, it was explained that the waste management project continues. By forming a relationship with the community, the fee collection reached 93%, and also the waste collection recovery improved from 10 to 18%. So I think South cooperation was emphasized how it went quite well. And so the Clean Dhaka project in Bangladesh was mentioned. That was JICA is involved in it. And there was a learning from that project, and that learning was implemented in the respective countries of Sudan and South Sudan. So those were the 4 sections that we've had today. 12 companies also gave us a very innovative and wonderful presentation. They gave us a business pitch. Now I would like to give overall wrap-up of today's sessions. So this is the 4th JCCI International Seminar. So climate and pollution and biodiversity, and how important cities are in terms of those against those challenges. From the perspective of the planet, half of the global population lives in urban area. 80% of the GDPs are generated in urban area as well. Accordingly, the 70% of the CO2 emission comes from the urban area. According to those data, the global importance of the cities are confirmed. So not only those planet-wide issues, there are certain local development issues faced by the residents, the typical one being the waste. So the pollution would impact hygiene and also energy access and disasters. Those are the imminent problems that need to be solved. Our time and resources are limited. Under such situation, how we can implement the various activities in an efficient manner would link to the necessity of a co-benefit approach. So the co-creation is needed to come up with the innovative method to solve the challenges. I think throughout the seminar we were able to learn that co-creation, innovation, those are the 2 points that I would like to continue to talk about. About co-creation, I think there are 3 points I would like to make. The first is that the academia, government, and the industry cooperation will be necessary in co-creation. For example, the MOEJ has a decarbonization leading area designated. By designating those areas, those 3 sectors can select the decarbonization models in those selected areas, and also those 3 parties cooperation are necessary in every field. Co-creation is the second point. So co-creation amongst the different sectors would bring about synergies. For example, the air pollution may be prevented by the EV, and this would also contribute to the carbon neutrality. And the waste to energy is one thing that can also play a part in generating co-benefit. The third point, the co-creation, the city-to-city network and international collaboration are the elements that can generate co-creation. I think we had a lot about that through today's presentations. MOEJ is running a C3P, the city-to-city collaboration program, and also ACCP. Also, there's a J-Prism for Pacific region. In Asian countries, we have a 3R forum. Also, South-South cooperation is one of those effective efforts. And also, the local governments are hosting Asia Smart City Conference. So the local governments, inter-local governments cooperation is also necessary. JICA, based on experiences in Japan, would like share our experience through the international cooperation to solve the global issues. The second major point is innovation. 2050, we would like to achieve carbon neutrality, and also I would like to achieve the circular society. Existing technology and social system with the limited time and resources, we can't really solve all the problems. So we need a leapfrog approach through innovation. And there's another point. First is policy need to innovate the system. With regard to the circular economy in Asia, there's an ambitious EPR legal framework being developed. With a good legal system, we can implement effective regulations, and then we will have a different kind of industries connected. In terms of the systems, we need a fund to support such system. So the upscaling and innovative methods are necessary. The government of Japan have a joint crediting mechanism, JCM, so carbon management and investment can be connected in that way. Circular society to be achieved, APR need to be established, and life cycle approach. Those two things must be promoted in a robust manner. The second innovative point is about the private sector innovation. 12 companies today gave us a very exciting presentations for decarbonization and the circular economy. The private sector companies play a vital role in realizing the sustainable world. The science and technologies are very important. Professor Isobe of Kyushu University took part in today's session, but the new scientific insights are necessary for a new society. The DX is also something we need to utilize activity in the areas of waste management and GHG management. Also, by doing so, we will have more visibilities around these problems, improving the awareness of the citizens. In order to realize the innovation, science and technology and information hub would be necessary. In Thailand, they are trying to establish a marine debris center. Also, no data, no future was mentioned by the person from Chuo University. Accurate information need to be accumulated, and I think that because it holds a key for innovation. Finally, I would like to talk about the 3 points around how JCCI can contribute going forward. JICA, as you know, with the request from partner countries, we provide technical assistance, and also we provide some funding. JCCI have covered covered 60 countries. So the technical cooperation and also the financial cooperation are major tools to be used for capacity building to other projects in a direct manner. And in the field also, we would like to work with various stakeholders. The second point is in JICA, we have a sort of partnership scheme initiated by the JICA, for example, a research institute, or we also have a youth voluntary corp and so forth. So the stakeholders are taking initiatives in building schemes through which we would like to materialize co-creation innovation. JCCI is a platform, so the international seminar like this can be utilized to achieve the sustainable society. We can use this opportunity to share our views and opinions to make further progress towards our goals. So that's my summary. So hopefully we'll continue to support JCCI and its initiatives. Thank you very much.
岩崎様ありがとうございま
Mr.
した。
Iwasaki, thank you very much.
岩崎様のラップアップをもちまして、
So with this wrap up, including green stage in the next room, we have finished all the sessions at this seminar. Thank you very much for attending throughout the day. And finally, in closing this seminar, we have Kenichi Kawamura, Senior Vice President of JICA, to make a closing remarks. I am Kawamura, a Senior Vice President. Your Excellencies, Mr. and Mrs. Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are joining us online, thank you for coming and watching today's JICA Clean Cities Initiative International Seminar 2025. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the speakers, to the Ministry of the Environment, the Japan Science and Technology Agency, Overseas Environmental Cooperation Center for their support, and to all those who cooperated and contributed to this event. We approximately 500 registered participants from 74 countries. We are pleased that so many people are interested in JCCI's efforts to realize a clean city. So thanks to your support, the JCCI International Seminar was held for a fourth time. The first seminar in 2022 launched the JCCI. Reviewed good practices from policy creation and planning to implementation of measures led by Japan's cooperation, and discussed how to create a circular, low-carbon society in developing countries. The second seminar was in 2023. We introduced master planning for clean cities, cooperation in combating air waste and climate change using Japanese science and technology, and cooperation between municipalities and companies leveraging their strength. During the third seminar last year, we discussed JCCI's regional development of projects in Oceania and Ukraine, city-to-city cooperation for decarbonization, clean city development through DX and innovation, and trends in Vietnam's circular economy. In the fourth seminar, as was mentioned in the wrap-up, I don't need to repeat, but like such, at JCCI International Seminar, depending on the progress, we discuss about pressing issues that the world faces, and we are also expanding the partners, and thus we see success of these seminars. So 47 people from 8 countries took the podium, and we had already 4 international organizations, 2 governments, 3 local governments, 3 universities, research institutions, and 17 companies. In order to realize a clean city, we affirm the importance of JCCI's promotion of collaboration and co-creation with many stakeholders, as we have been discussing about. So taking this opportunity in order to strengthen the network,
we have some reception after today's event. So those of you who have time, please drop by. And also the pitch made by companies for the online exhibitions. This will continue up until February 7th. So if you have time, please access. So this is a partner event of TICAD 9. So from 5 countries, we had Mr. and Mrs. Ambassadors, and I would like to take once again the opportunity to thank all of you. In August, in Yokohama, TICAD 9 plenary meeting and ACCP General Assembly will be held. We hope to see progress in data development and mobilization of funds for the important issue that we face. We thank the governments of each country, UN Habitat, UNEP, the Asian Development Bank, and European Development Bank for their cooperation following COP29 and the World Urban Forum. So JCCI, 3 years have launched. 3 years have passed since its launch, and it has expanded to about 350 million people in 44 countries. And we are making a progress. And our goal of providing clean cities to 500 million people in 50 countries by 2030, that is our goal. In order to realize and further upscale the goal, with international organizations, donors, governments, local governments, universities, and businesses, partnership and co-creation is a prerequisite. Innovation through science and technology and DX are indispensable. So once again, we ask for your continued support. In closing, I hope that this seminar will be an opportunity to further strengthen JCCI's efforts and cooperation with you. And I promise that in order to achieve clean cities in developing nations, JICA will continue to work together with our partners around the world and in Japan. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you for attending. Mr. Kawamura, thank you very much. This concludes the JICA Clean City Initiative JCCI International Seminar 2025. As Mr. Kawamura mentioned, online exhibition through Eventus website, you will be able to access until 7th of February. We introduce environmental technologies of Japan. And for the documents and recorded video of the seminar, we are planning to upload to Eventus. And once we edit the materials, we will post on JICA homepage. Once we're ready, we will let you know. And for the participants, we will be sending you a post-event survey, so please do respond. And on the 3rd floor, Midori room, there will be a reception. We have some refreshments and some drinks. So those of you who are at the venue and have time, please join us there. So for Midori restaurant, we're now on the 1st floor. If you could go up 1 floor and take an escalator next to the drugstore, and you'll be able to find Midori restaurant. And please make sure that you take all your belongings with you. And also, if you did use translation receivers, please turn them back at the reception. And those of you who are joining the reception, you'll please bring your name tag with you as well. And those of you who are not attending the reception, please return your badges to the reception. Thank you very much indeed.